Hey there, Justin from Join Off-Road in Colorado here again. We got a twofer today. Man, this one is cool. This is a 2008 E350 V10 5R110 extended body cargo. So these are kind of odd ducks, these 08s. 07, 08 is weird, especially in the cargos. They get all kinds of different hodgepodge of front ends and ABS traction control levels. So, you know, it's got the new style front end on it, but the old dash, and because it's a cargo, it doesn't have traction control. But if it was a passenger van, right there in that blank off port, there would be a traction control button. So kind of odd. But anyways, we'll start from the front. So we actually helped our buddy Tom here source this van. Initially, we were going to do kind of a, he's from Alaska. He's an Alaska Airlines pilot. And what we were going to do is build the axles up, get the kit all ready, put the bumpers on, wire up all the accessories and everything, and then put the axles, wheels, tires, everything in the back, and then ship the thing up to Alaska because he wanted to put it together himself. But that didn't wind up working out. He'd asked if we build it. Of course, we said yes, but we did help him source this van. A friend of mine, Mike, had it, and we snatched it up and brought it up from Flagstaff. So it's got about 105,000 miles on it. I think it was some sort of a government vehicle or something previous. But it's a little rough around the edges, but it was just the perfect thing for what Tom wanted. So it worked out and it came out so cool. So we started off with our 6-inch four-wheel drive conversion kit. Frame all cleaned up and painted. It was super dirty and mud and everything underneath here, so we spent hours pressure washing it first before we even went to town cleaning the frame. Obviously it got our new custom built Radflow 2.5s. These are awesome. We've got these super dialed in, and I'm very happy with them. They're very expensive. They're almost $1,000 per shock, but man, they make a huge difference. So custom spec springs. The reason, and I'll talk a little bit about this, the reason why we work with Radflow specifically is because they work a ton with Alcan. Oops, sorry, what's going on here? They work a ton with Alcan, and they've been working together for a long time. So how it works is when we order your springs for your project, and you're getting Radflows as well, the Fluid Alcan will order the Radflows specifically, and those two talk to each other and spec the shocks out perfectly. So it's just absolutely the perfect ride first try every time. Then it's got the compression adjustment down here. We can do high and low speed compression adjustment, but most people wind up just going for the low speed only. So stage 3 front axle with our scratch built housing, 488 gears on this one to go with the 37s. Detroit True Track, and of course all the Dynatrack goodies, big brakes. Already had the Fleet front end on it, so it already had the black grille. Then we went with our blacked out Vantage Optics projector LED headlights. Got our FB004 tube front bumper with all the LP6s up high. So these are 2 yellow combo beams and 2 clear combo beams. And then the only difference here is we've got a SAE in the yellow. Tom opted for Factor 55 Fairlead and the Factor 55 ProLink. Anderson is hooked up. OBA is hooked up as well. Orange shackles. It was going to get fender flares, but the rears are still back ordered, so we're going to ship him those in the mail, but I think it looks awesome without them. Oh man, I keep doing that. So, wheels. Got our first set of Innovate Racing. These guys are awesome. These things are all hand built in America. Super high quality. It's a simulated beadlock. I can't remember the model number right now, but it's a 17x9. Went with our first set of 37 1250 17 Wild Peak AT4 Falcons. These things are awesome, man. This is the current only 37 on the market that measures exactly 37. True 37. Most other tires are kind of all over the place, but these ones are great. They look awesome. They drive awesome. So this one was a 5R110, so nothing needed there. We did service it. It's got a NV271 T-case bolted to it. 1350 CV drive shafts front and back. Stock truck sway bar in the front. And you can see there too, we installed a Hanko Fab all aluminum 40-gallon tank. These things are really, really cool. If you haven't seen Harmon at Hanko Fab yet, he's doing really, really cool E-Series tank stuff. He's working on some door panels and a bunch of other cool stuff right now. And you can see the OBA tucked up there in the usual spot. It does have our overload airbags in the back, just plumbed into some bumper shraders. Of course, custom spec springs in the back as well. Got a ladder on the driver's side. Eventually this thing will be getting a high top or a pop top or something of the sort. He's not sure what he's gonna do yet. Out back, got a Sterling swap. Of course, matching 488 gears, aux locker, and then everything else brand new, rebuilt, all new bearings, seals, brakes, backing plates, calipers, everything. And then of course you can see the rear rad flows there. You get at the adjuster right on the bottom of the reservoir there. In the rear, we got our in-house built rear bumper. Big 37 on the back. Tom's a pilot, so he already had a bunch of Pelican cases, so he just supplied us with one to bolt on there. He did opt for the Baja S2s flush mounted into the bumper there for reverse lights instead of the rigids we normally use. So those don't have a running light, but they are very bright. And then we flush mounted the trailer plug in there. That looks tough with that big old spare on the back of it. And let's see, I think that's about it. This thing is pretty impressive to look at underneath. A lot of nice new stuff up underneath here. All right, that's about it on this one. If you got any questions for me, feel free to email me, justin@ujoinoffroad.com. If you're inquiring about install in North Carolina or a DIY kit, please email chris@ujoinoffroad.com. Thank you. All right, this is out of the ordinary for me. I never jump back in, but I forgot some important stuff on this one. So he had these Recaros from another truck. And he had us custom mount them in here on some Bling My Rig swivel seat bases. Most E-Series people should be familiar with these, but we made up a totally custom base to be able to mount these Recaros. Turned out really cool. Got the fully loaded up S-Pod in the door. And then we've got our nice aux shifter bezel. Yeah, looking good. All right, see ya.